Hi everybody. Today we're going to start with chapter 4. But before starting, the title of the chapter is Lexical Features. Before starting with the new chapter, let's repeat all the phrase structure rules we discussed in the previous lectures. They are as follows. Phrase structure rule 1, a sentence consists of an optional element which is sentence modifier. The obligatory is a nucleus. Phrase structure rule 2, nucleus consists of noun phrase plus verb phrase. The phrase structure rule 3, verb phrase consists of an auxiliary, main verb, and optional elements. Adverbials could be of manner, place, time, and reason. 4, auxiliary, the obligatory element is tense, which could be either past or present, as you remember. And then you have modal auxiliary, have en, and bing. Tense could be either present or past. The main verb should be V here, sorry. Verb. It should be verb here. Verb is missing. The noun phrase is determiner, which has an optional element. Noun obligatory PL for plural is also optional. The adjective phrase هنا عندنا intensifier plus adjective. Look at the rule again اللي هناك كانت ناقصة بها الام بي هذا هنا كانت أصبحت صحيحة. قلنا نقسم الأفعال إلى B و V. First category followed either by noun phrase, verb phrase, or place. Well, verb is either transitive or intransitive. If it is intransitive, لازم, there is no need for MP, it is optional. But if it is transitive, I have to use noun phrase. Up to now, we have discussed only the syntactic section of the transformational grammar, which provided us with the structure of sentences. Now we move to the semantic section, which provides meaning. Semantics معناها المعاني. الجزء اللي يخص المعنى. Provides meaning for these structures. يعني احنا جمل, when we learn a language, it's not enough to learn structures. We have to learn also meanings. When we produce sentences, we have to produce sentences which have meaning. It's not enough to put word one after the other and we give a grammatical structure, but if it doesn't make sense, it is not acceptable. So meaning is a prerequisite. Prerequisite معناها إجباري مطلوب. But then now we know how to make sentences by depending on these rules. These rules help us to direct us to form grammatical sentences. And now we come to the second part of the grammar, which is the semantic section. The semantic section consists of one, the lexicon. Lexicon means dictionary. The lexicon will give us the meanings of individual words, and the semantic section will tell us how the meanings of individual words are combined to give us the meaning for the sentence as a whole. Normally, if I know the meaning of every individual word, I can easily arrive at the meaning of the sentence as a whole. When you read, for instance, sometimes I don't understand, simply because there is one word whose meaning you don't know. Or sometimes the whole sentence, is not meaningful to you. So a prerequisite for the meaning of a sentence, you have to know the meaning of every individual word. And even when you write, you have to write words with meanings. Otherwise, you will produce nonsense sentences. So the phrase structure rules we discuss above do not generate all the sentences in a language. They provide only a small number of elementary or basic structures that underlie the sentences of English. And I mentioned this already in the previous lectures إنه هذه تنطيني عدد قليل بس أنا أقدر أعتمد عليها وأقدر أنطي عدد لا يحصى من الجمل. So these phrase structure rules help me with the basic structures. الجمل اللي هي نسميها إحنا البيسك أصلية, يعني لا محورة ولا مغير بها وإنما هي الأصلية. فالphrase structure rules are responsible for generating only the basic structures. But, for instance, if you compare active to passive, the active sentence is the basic structure. I can arrive at the active sentence by using the phrase structure rules. But how about the passive sentence? The passive sentence is transformed from the active. the active has been changed into passive. فإذا أنا حورت هنا. فإذا phrase structure rules do not serve me. ما تخدمني. I need another set of rules which help me to transform sentences from one form into another. These rules are called transformational rules. So look at this. We need another type of rules which we call the transformational rules, which are responsible for rearranging إعادة ترتيب هذا الوقت في حالة السؤال. قبل شوي تذكرون أو المحاضرة اللي قبلها قدمنا الفعل على الأوكسيلياري، قدمناه على الفاعل، هذا rearranging، نعيد ترتيب الكلمات. deleting في بعض الأحيان نحذف. يعني for instance if I say do you like music? Yes I do. أنا حذفت كلمة music. only do. or adding structures. أضيف structures اللي هي في حالة sentence modifier. أنا أضفت إلها. The sentence is the child drinks the milk. ضفت لها yes. So these are sentences which have been transformed from the basic structures into transformed structures. إذا منو راح يساعدني بها؟ the transformational rules. So the structure, for instance, the structure generated by the phrase structure rule, like the boy present BING is reading a book. هذا statement. هذه basic structure. The boy is reading a book, which is the order of a statement. But we need a rule to rearrange it into a question. أعيد ترتيبه، حولته للسؤال. سويت إذا قدمت التنس اللي هو ويا be رأسا together present plus be معناها is، مع the boy صار قبل شوي قلنا to invert، نقلب الفعل مع الفاعل. is the boy reading a book وحطينا علامة سؤال، فإذا أصبح هذا a question. So هذا السؤال توصلنا له عن طريق transformational rule. So this can be represented by the following three diagrams. حتى بالthree diagram نقدر نبين نوضحها. The sentence consists of a nucleus. Nucleus consists of auxiliary main verb. الauxiliary be tense and be. استخدمنا هذا الauxiliary be. فالtense هو present. البي هو هنا راح يصير عندنا is. والnoun phrase consists of determiner plus noun the boy. وعندنا هنا قلنا v b الauxiliary هو ing and then sorry the verb phrase yes consists of the auxiliary ing and the main verb consists of the verb read and the noun phrase determiner plus a noun a book. So هنا منو راح يخدمني؟ transformational rules. So it means that this grammar consists of two types of rules: phrase structure rules and transformational rules. صراحة الشابتر هو lexical features، بعدنا ما شرحنا lexical features، هسه فقط شرحنا transformational rules، بس قدمت هذا حتى نهيئكم لهذا التفاصيل هذا الشابتر اللي هو how do we arrive at the meaning, when do we call a sentence grammatical, when do we call it acceptable, what do you mean by meaning, etc.